your speakers. It's just party of one today. I am Megan Sullivan. I'm the creative director with Nextiny Marketing. We are a HubSpot Platinum agency who helps to host the CMS for Marketers office hours as well as the CMS for Marketers study group with HubSpot. I have been working in HubSpot CMS for almost 7 years now. I pretty much eat, breathe, and sleep HubSpot CMS. So, really excited to get to talk to other people, other marketers who are using the HubSpot CMS. And I'm just excited that you guys are here. If you don't know where you are or what you're at, basically the CMS for Marketers has two main platforms where pretty much just anyone who's using the HubSpot CMS for marketing can connect. We can learn from each other. We can grow together. We can do better marketing together. We can share what our biggest struggles are, what our biggest challenges are, what successes we've seen in the platform. So we can, do better marketing together. So the two main platforms that takes is the CMS for Marketers study group. If you're not already a part of that, I highly recommend you join. Let me, I'll pop the chat. I'll pop the link for both of these in the chat so you guys can take a look at them. So CMS for Marketers study group, just a platform where you can ask questions, you can comment, you can post on there. There's members of the HubSpot team who monitor that study group, as well as just other members of the study group who are CMS marketers using the CMS that can answer, and you guys can chat with each other, just creating a space for, again, us to share resources, learn from each other, grow from each other, share challenges. And also, we've got the CMS for Marketers office hours. These are 30 minutes once a month. And sometimes we have some speakers come in and share with us different platforms, but basically we want this 30 minutes to be as actionable as possible for you guys. So learning tips and tricks from the HubSpot CMS that you can take away to help elevate, update your websites, your landing pages, your marketing campaigns inside the CMS as a whole. So again, thank you guys for being here. If you have questions, any questions at all throughout this presentation today, please drop them in the chat. Also, please join the study group, comment questions, comment topics that you would like to see us talk about in these office hours. I really, really, really know that your time is so valuable. So we would love to make these 30 minutes as action-packed and practical for you as possible. So if there's specific topics we've talked about, using themes inside the HubSpot CMS. We've talked about how to structure your homepage. So what types of content should you actually have on your homepage? We've talked about how to structure your website navigation, quick wins for your website. We've talked about SEO, a ton of different things. So if this is your first office hours, go back and watch some of our old ones. And also let us know what you would like to hear about in the future. We just did an awesome one on smart content. So got to learn all of the cool tools inside of HubSpot that you can use to personalize your content. Let us know. We'd love to hear from you. With that, I'm going to take a breath. I talk fast. I apologize. I'm going to get right into today's agenda. We are going to be talking about CMS updates today. There's a couple new updates within the CMS. We're also going to be talking about what's trending in 2023. So 3 things that we're seeing as a whole with websites, landing pages, etc., that we are seeing trending that you want to keep your eyes out for. And then at the end, we'll have a time for question and answer. So please stick around. If you have a question at any point, I'll keep my eye on the chat. So drop it in. This is a pretty informal space. So if you want to hop in with anything that you've been struggling with in the CMS that we can help you out with, would love to use this space for that as well. So what's new in the HubSpot CMS? I'm going to pop over this hubspot.com/new. If you guys are not familiar with this URL, this is where HubSpot is posting updates for all of their hubs. So not only the CMS hub, but also service, operations, etc. If you're looking for what's new or want to stay on top of any new updates coming out of HubSpot CMS or any of the other hubs, this is a great URL to have bookmarked. So you can keep an eye out for that. But what's new in the HubSpot CMS? I want to just say before I get into this that if you are a super admin inside of your HubSpot account, we're going to talk about some betas that HubSpot's running right now, which just means The feature update might not be live for everyone. It might be a beta that you need to opt into in order to access certain features inside the HubSpot CMS. And HubSpot actually just in the past couple months, I believe, made the update that you can actually opt yourself into some of these betas. So, how to do that is you click on your profile picture inside of your HubSpot account. And then, if you're a super admin, you should have access to something called product updates. Here, you'll also see a ton of awesome product updates and a list of all of the new betas that HubSpot's come out with. And a lot of those from there, you can go ahead and enroll or activate in your account. So, check this out if you haven't already. If you're interested in a beta, sometimes there are bugs and kinks because they are betas. They're not fully launched product features, but there are some cool betas that HubSpot's running that you can use to help get better data, and they're always coming out with new product launches. So it's a good thing to keep your eye out for. And again, profile picture, product updates is where you'll access some of the betas I'm talking about today. Okay, so first, new thing in HubSpot, customer journey analytics. This is available for Marketing Hub Enterprise. If you haven't already checked this out, it's actually a really cool feature where you can sort of put together a more holistic picture of your customer journey from landing pages to email opens to calls, sales engagement, page views, media, and more. And you can kind of visually lay out the customer journey for specific experiences you're creating on your site. So let's say you have a specific campaign that you're sending out emails for, you're creating landing pages for. Maybe you have some popovers or different elements on your site that are all nurturing towards a specific campaign or a specific goal. Maybe it's your main call to action on your site. So you're wanting people to, take your demo or schedule a call. This is a really cool feature. Unfortunately, only available for Marketing Hub Enterprise in beta right now. But you can actually do, and I'll show you in this next slide what it kind of looks like. You can see this sort of funnel that HubSpot will populate with the different elements, and you can take a look wholesale at what a customer's journey typically looks like to get to this end goal, whatever you have set up for these specific reports. So, really cool reports to check out if you are in HubSpot Enterprise or you have HubSpot Enterprise. I would recommend checking this out. Enroll yourself in the beta. And then, how you would go to create the actual report is go into reports, create reports, and then you'll just select journey reports once you have that beta live. Hopefully, this will be live and launched for everyone soon, and maybe eventually coming. Hopefully, this is just me speaking not at all on behalf of HubSpot, but to the different pro features, some sort of level of this, because it is a really cool tool that can get you some actionable visual data inside your account. So check it out if you haven't already. Um, Another cool update that's also in beta, and this is available for Pro, Enterprise, Marketing Hub, and Service Hub, is a WhatsApp integration. So basically, teams can easily connect your WhatsApp business account to HubSpot and communicate with your customers. You can track those conversations and build those relationships all from HubSpot. So cool feature. I'll put a I have some just knowledge based articles on some of these here as well. This again is in beta. So if you want to, I think you will be able to enroll yourself in this in that profile product updates piece there. But if you are using WhatsApp Business or this might be relevant for your company, really cool feature to check out an integration where you can kind of see wholesale. You can create some templated conversations inside of WhatsApp and host everything inside of HubSpot and then see sort of that more full scale user journey. So check it out. Another product update from HubSpot, and this is somewhat old news, but has been launched within the past year. CMS free. So if you guys are not on HubSpot CMS, if you do not already have a HubSpot website, maybe you have seen us talk about themes or you're interested in exploring what it could look like to host your website inside the HubSpot CMS. You can actually create a CMS free account. I believe there are some limitations as far as page count, and then I think what templates you are able to use inside of the free version of the CMS. And there's also just a little HubSpot CMS free or like powered by HubSpot a little ticket that will populate at the bottom of your site if you are on CMS free. But if you're just wanting to test the site or you have a small scale site, this is a really cool feature that if you're not already on HubSpot, I would recommend playing with and potentially starting with a free website and then building and growing from there. Really, really cool feature. Awesome thing that HubSpot has recently put out, and they're also a starter, which I think is right now $25 a month, which is pretty comprehensive as far as the CMS goes, and as far as like the types of sites you can actually build out in HubSpot CMS. So cool things happening, making HubSpot CMS more accessible for all of us. We're big fans of it around here, so would recommend you checking it out. Um, that is all for our product updates. I'm going to get into today's sort of hot topic, which is just 2023 trending. These are some things we are seeing trending in HubSpot's, in general, in websites, landing pages, etc. So one thing, and this is something that hopefully is not shocking or brand new to any of you, but responsive design. This is a super outdated statistic, but as far as 2021, which this I'm sure has gone way up, 54% of global website traffic was on mobile. So pretty much websites at this point, if your website is not, it needs to be optimized for mobile, for desktop, smartphone, etc., so that you are making sure you have a really quick, really intuitive and user-friendly site, not only on a computer or a desktop, but also on a phone, etc. So if this is not already on your radar, put it on your radar because it's a really important piece. HubSpot, of course, and HubSpot templates have some cool responsive capabilities already pre-built in. So if you already have a HubSpot website or you're using a HubSpot template from the marketplace, this responsive nature is pretty much baked in for the most part to a lot of those assets and elements. So you won't have to go crazy building custom mobile experiences, which is actually a really beautiful thing about HubSpot CMS. But there is still caveats. You still want to make sure you're testing for mobile, etc. So if you're not sure how your site stacks up as far as responsiveness, number one, actually get on your phone, get on your tablet, and test your site. See how fast it's loading, see if you can click from one place to another easily, see how easily you can navigate page to page. Explore, are your images loading correctly? Actually doing the hands-on testing is the best way to catch and experience this firsthand. Of course, in HubSpot's preview, you can test for all different devices. We always recommend testing on the devices themselves. It's going to be the most accurate way of seeing how everything looks and functions. If you haven't already run your website through HubSpot's website grader, this is another really great tool that will tell you some tips and tricks for. It'll actually give you a grade for your website's mobile experience specifically based on, different things like tap targets. Are the buttons on your mobile site big enough for people's fingers to actually click on them? And some different elements it'll grade for. So if you haven't already, I would recommend taking the next few seconds to click on the link I just sent in the chat and grade your site and see what comes up with it. You might get overwhelmed because this is CMS for marketers. We do not claim to be developers here, but there are some easy things that you can fix with the website grader. And then there's actually an entire HubSpot Academy course that goes into each element of the website grader piece. And some of them, it might be worthwhile to work with a developer to optimize your site for some of these issues, because it really does make a big difference in also how Google is going to rank and search engines are going to rank your site. If you have a really slow site on mobile and a lot of people are coming to your site on mobile, Google wants to send them the information as quickly and seamlessly as possible. So it's going to hurt your authority from that end as well. So an important thing to keep in mind, some other tools, other popular tools you can use to sort of scan your site, and it'll give you a grade for how well you are performing or how you're stacking up as far as responsiveness. Browser Stack, Responsinator, and I Am Responsive. Again, we will send you the recording with some follow-up links here, so you don't have to be writing those down right now. But something to keep in mind, an important thing to actually be testing and be mindful of, especially in 2023 and beyond. So next trending thing we're seeing in websites is, from a design perspective, is bold typography. I'm not sure if you guys have noticed this on your end as well. It's something we're seeing across the board. People are getting a little more funky and bold with the type of fonts and font faces they're using. seeing a lot less Montserrat and a lot more typography that has a little bit of nuance, feels a little more bold, feels a little more modern. It's important, of course, always to strike the balance between readability and visual impact. So if you are getting crazy funky with your typefaces and no one can read it, that is a no-no. So be mindful of that. The example I have for this is HubSpot itself. I'm not sure if you have been on HubSpot recently, but they actually just recently swapped some of their branding out. So HubSpot, I think, did a little mini rebrand. And you can see their font is a lot different. I can't remember what their old font was, but it was something similar to a Montserrat feel. And now they are using a much funkier, a much more bolder font typeface. Seeing this across the board as a trend to look out for. So if you're looking for a simple way to maybe update or modernize your site, maybe play with some different font selections and make some small changes to elevate your site's look to stay trendy and up with the times. Um, Next thing and the last thing I have for today, as far as website trends, is minimalism. This is something we're seeing across the board, from your website's menu to your page structure to your design. Lots of white space, really, really clean, simple, 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 really boiled down sites. Personally, as a user, I love this. I think it makes sites really easy for me to navigate, to know if you give me limited options. We talked about navigation, I think, in either last office hours or the office hours before, but the more simple, the less layers and layers and layers of drop downs that you have, the less sort of crazy visuals that you have on your site, the easier it is for me to navigate. I personally love, love, love those experiences and enjoy being on those sites and stay on those sites so much longer, from simplicity with structure to simplicity with design. So something to keep an eye out for, something I would recommend taking a look at. Again, if you have a complicated or crazy main navigation, that is really easy to get lost in rabbit holes across your site. A really clean and simple way to stay up with the trends is to simplify, simplify, simplify as much as possible on your site. Some sites that are doing this, some examples here, you can see Stripe. I think this is an internal page for Stripe, but very simple, lots of white space, simple main navigation items, really clean website design from the front end. Love this. Love to see this minimalism. These are some other examples. I'm not sure I'm as crazy about design wise, but you can see that even from the graphics, this is Medium. Their actual site, they also have a bold font face here, and super simple, super minimal, nothing crazy from the front end. It's just a yellow screen with some text on there. And again, their menu looks like it's 4 items and a call to action. So really minimal, clean visuals here. What we're seeing trending in websites. This is another example here. Dropbox, they just have a black screen with some white text here. Super minimal, but also really easy to navigate. I don't love pancake menus personally, and this might be because of the screen, the size that my screen was when I took this screenshot. But you can also see their main menu is very simple. So I only have 3 options there, and then a nice big call to action in the center. So keeping things minimal, another trend we are seeing. And the last one I actually didn't include in this presentation, but I want to make a note because we're actually going to have a guest speaker at our next office hours from Outgrow, who is a HubSpot integrations partner that creates interactive content on your site. So really cool. If you are not already planning on it, attend next week's office hours. We're going to talk about simple ways you can use HubSpot partners and HubSpot extensions to create quizzes, interactive content, interactive experiences on your site. But another trend we're noticing and seeing is more interactive experiences, simple, 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 but still interactive on your site, to create a better user journey and to also elevate the experience for the user. And HubSpot has some really cool tools to do that. So just a little plug for next office hours. I believe that is March 23rd, but I can send the link in the follow-up email as well. And that is all I have for you guys today. I want to leave some time here at the end. It looks like we have about 9 minutes for questions. If you guys have a question about something I talked about today, awesome. If you have a question about something you're struggling with within the CMS for marketers or within the CMS interface, would absolutely love to hang out for the next little bit and answer any of those questions that you guys have. or if you have anything you want to showcase, anything that you're super proud of that you've done in the CMS. If you recently launched a new website or a new campaign that is performing incredibly, pop it in the chat. We'd love to take a look at that together. And yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us. I'll be hanging out for the next 90 minutes and here and ready to answer any questions you have about what we talked about today or anything else within HubSpot CMS. And I do have those links. So do your website grader and see if you might have some questions in website grader related. Hi, Sarah. Thanks for hopping on.
Hi, Megan. I appreciate everything you had to say. I think it's really cool that we can hop into
Yeah.
those different the different things that are in beta right now. So we don't host our website through HubSpot, and I've watched a lot of different videos on CMS. What would the transition look like between taking a website that is fully built on a different program and putting it through HubSpot?
Yeah. So if you are in love with the way your website looks and functions right now, HubSpot actually has a migrations team. So what are you hosting your site on right now?
Webflow.
Okay, so you can actually take your Webflow site, and I think it's like $200 for 20 pages, and then it's a price amount per page. Don't quote me on that. I'll send you the resources for this. But HubSpot can actually migrate your entire site completely as is into the HubSpot CMS platform, and this is a really cool opportunity to then, if you love the current site structure that you're working with, and you think your site is performing really well, go ahead and move it without having to do any extra work. And the HubSpot migrations team is awesome. It usually takes around 2 weeks for them to actually start the migration. You have to kind of like go through some processes to get it approved. But then yeah, Jennifer's fact checking me here. It's a $500 setup and then $20 per page. And another thing that Jennifer's talking about is if you're not already familiar with, have you looked at any of the themes inside of the HubSpot marketplace?
Yes, I've looked a lot at the different blog templates that you offer.
Okay. So they'll actually also, and Jennifer, you can hop in here and correct me if I'm wrong, migrate your site into an actual theme. And obviously, we're an agency. We'd love to help you if you want to completely rebuild your site. Or there's a ton of HubSpot partner agencies that can help you go through the whole site migration process. But if it's something you want to do on your own, you can check out themes, and they're actually really easy to edit and update on your end. And just you can pretty much completely build the site on your end. Have HubSpot migrate it for you in a new theme or migrate your site as is. So there's some really cool options there if you're looking to move into the CMS, which I would highly recommend, especially if you're working on Webflow. It's an easier interface and it's definitely going to be a little bit more optimized for SEO on that end.
Yeah, yeah. It seems like too a lot of the marketing campaign reporting would just be a little bit more robust if the website
Yes,
was through HubSpot.
yes, for sure. I'll put my email in the chat. And if you want to shoot me an email, I can send you over, or it looks like Jennifer popped it in here too, the actual website migration um, link where you can click on that and then you can sort of look into what it would take to actually migrate your site as is.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, Sarah, and thanks for asking. I know we've got about 5 minutes here, so if anyone else has questions, please, please, please reach out and or pop in the chat other topics you'd love us to talk about. Jennifer, maybe we'll need to have you come on here and talk about themes, and she's our resident theme expert, so that would be a fun one to do in the future. Tips and tricks for navigating a theme. I will stay and hang out in case any other questions come up. But if nothing else does, thank you guys so much for joining us. What is the most entry level plan HubSpot has? So, HubSpot, as far as the CMS goes, so if you're talking about hosting a website on the site, CMS free is going to be the most basic level of hosting a website. And then they also have starter, which is $25 a month. Let me send you over CMS um, pricing. So if you're just wanting to play around with it, if you're not sure if you are ready to move to HubSpot yet or not, um, start with the free version. And actually, let me see where I had that slide in there because I can actually share with you the link to where you can go ahead and start setting that up. Um, and then, yes, $25 is the next highest level for CMS Starter. Let me send you over these links right now. Pricing. For some reason, this is not showing me Starter, but let me see if we can find another one. Um, Awesome. And then I'll also send over in the follow up, if I can't get to it right now, where you can access HubSpot CMS free to go ahead and start setting up that account. I think it's pretty robust. Jesus from Spain. Yes, we have all of our old recorded office hours. Let me send you over a link. This is actually on video channel. So we have a ton of different videos on here, but we also have, sorry, I'm working on the fly here. We also have an entire thing of all of the CMS for marketers office hours that we've ever hosted. So should be helpful as well as some other things from our team. Okay, let me send you this. So this at the bottom of this page, there is a channel. And thanks. Okay, Jennifer just sent over the link for CMS free. And there is a channel called CMS for Marketers Office Hours. If you scrub through those, that is all of our former office hours. And if you're looking for a specific one I mentioned that you don't see, send me an email and I will get you the link for that specific topic. Yay. Bianca, excited for you to take a certification class. They are sometimes tedious, but always helpful information and fun things to learn. So hopefully you're enjoying them. Thanks again so much for joining us, guys. Feel free to shoot an email out to us with any specific questions. And or join the HubSpot CMS for Marketers study group and chat with us there. We look forward to chatting with you, and we will hopefully see you next time. Keep an eye out for follow-up resources with some links. I will include the links that we mentioned in the chat today as well, so that way you guys can all have those inboxed. Thanks so much, Sarah. Officially 4:30. I am going to go ahead and close out this event. But again, thank you all for being here and look forward to chatting with you soon.